This meeting is being recorded.
Thanks everyone for joining me today. I have the honor of chatting with Brian Gardner. And I met Brian at a local bookstore. Everyone knows I love bookstores. I love people with an interest in art and travel. And his art of VWs really caught my attention. So we're going to chat with Brian today.
Well, I am so pleased to be on your show, and I'm very passionate about the fact that, yes, I'm, making a profit on these things, but way beyond that is that I'm putting joy out there. People buy my art, they look at my art. It's positioned to kind of be at that emotional state of cheerfulness, and that's really enjoyable as an artist to get that kind of feedback from people.
Yeah. So tell us when you first, when you first started your journey as an artist.
Oh gosh, years ago, I actually did a painting for a local Hallmark contest and won first place in the local event in the competition. And then I've just been drawing ever since. My grandmother was not a portrait artist, but she did still life and that. And my sister and I just did art forever. Then I got into music about 1969, been a musician, drummer, now a songwriter. My passion is writing songs. And then in January of 2023, I had a couple of books I was selling, going to some gun shows, and that was going fine. Then I went into Walmart and saw these mini canvases. This is what they look like. I won't show you the
Yeah.
picture yet. But what's interesting is I saw those and it sparked an idea. So I started drawing some flowers on them and different things, and those sold pretty good. Then I made some Volkswagens on them. And my friend in Sacramento got one. She goes, "Oh my gosh, you have got to continue. I love those. You're going to do so great with this." So I started making the Volkswagens on them, and they started selling incredibly. Then my son's a printer, so he would take this design, scan it, and make a sticker out of it. And the stickers, now since January 2023, I've sold over 600 combined stickers and mini canvas magnets.
Wow.
Now let's set the money aside for a minute. I make a little profit. I try not to make too much profit, but enough. That is 650 plus items in the hands of people, putting smile on their faces every time they look at my art. Wow.
Yeah. No, and that's what attracted to me when I walked into the bookstore. You have like all these colorful little
Yeah.
VW magnets and stickers, and then it's just the colors and the whole idea of fun. I think that's what I love is taking a road trip brings back fun memories, and I think that's what the VW. I mean, it came out what in this I don't even know the whole history of the VW itself.
Yeah, well, let me show you this for your viewers too. I'll hold this pretty close.
Oh wow,
This
yeah.
is a commemorative mini canvas magnet, but I made a sticker of it. The Volkswagen came here in 1949. That was the first time they started selling Volkswagens here. And because it was an affordable car, got good gas, looked really cute, then they just sold like gangbusters. But imagine this is the 75th anniversary
Yeah.
of the Volkswagen Bug this year. Did I start my business at the right time?
Yeah, I think so. I think you did.
And people are still loving these cars after 75 years. I'm getting chills talking about this.
Yeah.
So then the next thing, being a fan of comedy and an author, I then came up with an idea, and that is a comic book based on putting Volkswagens in all kinds of funny situations. I hope your viewers can see this, because what I love about this comic book is the how do you say that word?
Na-
Naivety,
yeah,
right?
naivete or something. Yeah.
Naivete, right. So let me see if I can hold this up. This is a Volkswagen on a dirt road, and I'm going to read the caption. The Volkswagen is sitting on a dirt road. We don't really like dirt roads. We feel they're beneath us.
Oh,
Yes, they
see,
are beneath you.
right, exactly. That's great.
And this is one of my other favorite ones. I'll just show you the picture, then I'll tell you what it says. So it's a Volkswagen just got a a car wash. And what's challenging artistically about this is if you have a bright car, you have to show the reflection of the car in the water. So that was really challenging. But what it says is, my owner just washed me. I love whole body massages.
That is great. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's what I love.
it's
It's just
people look at this and they just laugh. Let me see if there's another one that's. Oh, this one. Let me show you this one because I'm trying to show you ones that are very easy to see. This one here is hilarious. So it's a Volkswagen in a garage and has been sitting there so long. There's all these weeds grown up around it. And the caption is, let me hold this up while I say the caption. I think my owner needs to take me out more often.
right.
And then of course, this is a family show, but I got to show you my most racy one. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh my gosh. People, I set them up and they go, get the kids out of here. No, it's really not that bad. It's a convertible Volkswagen and it says, yes, I'm topless, but I'm still respectable.
Right. That's right. Oh, that's
So I have had so much fun and good response from my first coloring book. And volume 2 comes out November 1st at the big show in Boulder City. Volkswagens and Corvairs take over the dam.
Oh, wow.
It is a free, fun show in a park with all these hills all over the place, bugs and buses all over the hills, and vendors and food. People, it's around November 1st, I think, is when.
And that's a great time of year to go out there because it's. I mean, the weather's usually perfect, but
that is a fun show. So it's been really fun to, think of what situations I could put the Volkswagen. Now, let me give your viewers a little tantalizing look into volume 2.
Okay, yeah.
Some of this stuff is so funny. I have a Volkswagen with the turn signal on. And the Volkswagen is going, my owner is always so concerned about whether my turn signals are working or not. Hey, I know where I'm going. Why do I need to tell everybody else?
That's great. That's good.
And, it's really, laughter has been proven by the medical professionals to lower blood pressure, to, handle all kinds of things. And so the idea that I would be putting out an item that somebody could look at it and they know all the jokes, then they put it away for 3 months and the kids are acting up and the car needs new tires and whatever. And they're sitting on their couch having some coffee and they pull that book out again and look at it again. And, this is the item that keeps on giving, right?
Right. Well, yes, exactly.
And I'm having way too much fun for a 72-year-old, let me tell you.
So I have to ask the ultimate question. Are you a VW bug owner yourself?
Now, that is the number one question I get. Now, you have to understand, I started my business in January 2023. I already had a Hyundai Tucson, which is a great car. But as I build up this business, what I want to get is not the classic Volkswagen. They're very dangerous if you ever had a frontal collision. But it's fine that people have them and just drive them shorter distances or they're very careful. What I want to get is what is called a Eurovan.
Ooh.
It is a really cool looking Volkswagen that came out in around 2003. And even though some of them had a lot of mileage, they're really a good vehicle. And I would love to have that parked behind me because my son's a printer and he makes magnetic signs. So I could have my logos on the vehicle. Then when I go shopping, I can take it off and nobody knows who I am,
Right.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to mention for people is not only the next step I took, and that is a coloring book.
I love that.
Yeah, called Classic Bug and Bus Coloring Book. But if you go to my website, classicvwart.com, and you spend a minimum of $5, you can enter yourself in a monthly drawing to win a free copy of this book. Now, one of the taglines on the cover of this book is very important. classic bug and bus coloring book for all ages, because I obviously have pictures like this. It might be interesting to kids. I'll hold that real close.
Oh,
It's a
that's
bug on a road
awesome.
trip,
Yeah, the road trip.
But I also have some things that I think turned out so good, which adults and older kids also enjoy. Look at that.
Oh my
You see, it's
gosh.
more intricate. Hold that
Yes.
up there for you.
Yeah, that is super intricate.
Yeah. So it really is a coloring book for all ages. And it's small enough that this would make an incredible stocking stuffer. Let me tell you, you know. And here's the cover again. It shows a bug and a bus. And so that has been really fun. That's been really selling well. And again, giving people the opportunity, who are kids who love to color, but adults, when things get so stressed out, it's time to whip open the book, grab your highlighters, turn the TV off, turn off the news, and spend some time, you know, coloring. Because
Yeah.
someone told me one of the biggest publishing areas right now is adult coloring books,
Yeah, it
because
really
people want to
is.
de-stress.
Right,
They
exactly.
don't want to drive someplace maybe or go to the gym. They just want to be at home. And but coloring books are just selling wonderfully because it's a way to de-stress.
Right. And
And that's not,
I love how it's a spiral bound so you can
oh yeah,
lay it flat. That's much easier
yes.
for coloring.
Yes, I did that with both of them. I didn't want to have some of the other binding types that you open the book and it keeps closing on you, you know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So let me
Exactly.
show you a couple of other of these. Now, what I'll do is I'll take a Volkswagen and put it in different kinds of backgrounds. Here's a bus that looks like they're heading off on a road trip.
Yeah.
Keep that straight like that. There we go.
I love that.
And then, of course, we have to have the famous race car.
Yep.
And that one sells really good. And what I try to do is I try to have bugs and buses in all different colors. But I'm telling you, blue and red, I keep track. Every time I sell something, I come over to my computer and keep track of what's selling. And blue bugs and red buses and
Oh.
vice versa are the top selling colors. It's amazing, you know.
Yeah, that is
So,
incredible.
and of course, you can see a little bit in the background here. I have a collection of Hot Wheels, and I have a whole section of Volkswagens as well, you know. So I'm a collector, and I love Volkswagens, you know, quite a bit,
Yeah, exactly. And
you
that
know.
whole idea of getting to be outside, to meet
Yes,
people, it's something
yeah.
that it sounds like you just really love to do.
Well, you know, Volkswagens, you know, if you go to a Cadillac car show, it might be rather relaxed, and that's okay. But when you go to a Volkswagen car show, they're going to come over to your bug and go, "Hey, how'd you get those wheels? How'd you do this?"
Yes.
You know, it's a real community. You know? And the other thing, let's look historically. You mentioned early on in the interview the color that I have. Well,
Right.
you look at the 50s, all the kids were wearing black. You know, it was all black and white shirts. Then when the 60s came about, somehow the young people discovered color and they put it everywhere. If you look behind me, you know, right
Yes.
here, you know,
Yeah.
that is the 60s. It is a colorful era
Right.
because
And that it
people,
is.
yeah, had
And
the freedom to just try. I mean, the outfits, like even what you're wearing looks kind of 60s with
yeah,
the
yeah. Well,
hat,
it
you
is.
know.
It's like
Yeah,
it was just an explosion of color and the
right,
stickers and the flowers and the
right.
whole, I
Yeah,
think of San Francisco a lot when you see the VW
yes.
bug and the whole. Where did you grow up, Brian? What was kind of your background?
I grew up in Northern California. I was born in Oakland, and I had hair almost as long as yours, a full beard and a mustache when I was drumming. Never got into drugs or alcohol. I'm very lucky. That's why I think at 72, I'm just got checked up by my doctor. He goes, "I don't know what you're doing, but keep it up. We can't find anything wrong with you, darn you." You know. So that's where I grew up. And here's the funny story. If we
Yes.
still have a little more time, yeah,
Oh, of
okay.
course.
So I was looking through what was in my day. You know, I was born in 1952 and was a Montgomery Ward catalog. It was
Yes.
like the Walmart of that day. And there was a drum set for $69. And I opened my eyes like a wild man. I had to have that drum set. It was like a snare drum and one cymbal or something, crazy, My dad hit the roof. He was, in the Depression and all. I said, I never spent $69 for myself ever. Well, Dad, nothing cost $69 in your day.
Right.
He didn't like that answer. So anyway, I kept adding to the drum set, but that was the level of quality I had known. So then this bass player comes over and goes, "This is your crappy drum set?" And I'm like, yeah, I'll show you. He goes, "Cool down. We're going to the music store." I go, "Okay, they're all going to sound the same." He goes, "Shut up, pick up the drumstick and hit that snare." I go, "Why? They're all going to just shut up and hit that snare." I hit that professional snare. It was like an orchestra was playing.
Oh.
I'm getting chills just talking
Yeah,
about it.
right.
So I worked all summer and got myself a professional Ludwig drum set. But it was such a funny moment because I was going to sound the same, and I hit that snare. I went, oh my gosh, I never knew anything could. So then I kept playing drums through different bands. And then I was in kind of a Crosby, Stills and Nash group.
Oh, wow.
Up in North Lake Tahoe, which is the most beautiful place on the planet. Wow, I love that area. And I was the only one with enough money to buy the 12-string guitar we needed. So I bought it. Then when the band broke up, they go, "Here's your guitar. See you later."
Oh.
And I started fooling around with the guitar, taught myself to play, and just absolutely, send me to the rehab clinic. I'm worse than heroin. I am hooked on songwriting.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, when I get a song, it's like, leave me alone. Let me get this done. I just love songwriting. And I don't know what's happened. I must have hit a vein of gold. When you're excavating, suddenly you hit a vein that goes on for a while. I've been writing songs like the Blazes.
Really? Oh, that's
and
great.
Here's the thing I think your viewers will find interesting. My cat has helped me write 2 of the songs.
Really?
Here's how.
Yeah.
So I work upstairs out of my home for the printing business. So I feed her and she's looking at me like she wants more food. I said, "Hey, I got to go upstairs. I'm an upstairs man." As soon as I said that, I go, I got to write a song. And I wrote a song called Upstairs Man about the fact that when you're with somebody in a relationship, kind of the bedroom's usually upstairs and you should honor that. That's where it comes from.
Right.
Then the second song she helped me with, I don't care when I get to bed, this Maine Coon wakes me up at 6 a.m. I don't know how she knows it's 6, but somehow. So she's sitting this close to me. I go, I was kidding with her. Oh, it must be love. So then I wrote a song of a guy sitting next to his girlfriend. He looks over at her and he goes, "That must be love."
Yeah.
So I got 2 songs from my Maine Coon recently.
Oh, that is great, Brian.
She's beautiful. Her name is Madison. Boy, if you ever want a great cat, get a Maine Coon. They're fun. Anyway, so songwriting is a passion. You have 3 minutes to tell a story, and you have a dictionary this big of words. Which ones do you pick? It's a little longer than a commercial, but you've got to tell a story in 3 minutes about, unless your song is longer. And it's a really fun challenge,
It is. That is a great challenge.
Yeah. So the art is a passion, all forms of art. And as I said, volume 2 of Life is a Bug comes out in November. What else did you want to ask me?
Tell us about some of the outdoor shows you do. I know you get to travel. You mentioned the Boulder City event, which sounds amazing. So
people have got to come to that.
It's free. Right. I was going to say, is it free?
Now, the other show that's more local, if you don't want to drive that far, every single Saturday in the Twin Peaks restaurant parking lot, Eastern and Serene in Las Vegas, is the Celebrity Cars and Coffee car show.
Oh, wow.
And what's great about it, all of us vendors donate a percentage of what we make to community activities. And, so the guy who organizes it, gives money to various organizations. It's not Lions Club. It's another one I'll think of in a minute. but we all donate toward that. So if you come and you buy something, you'll know that some of your money is going to go to help out community activities. And the
Yeah.
show is really fun. New cars, old cars. They have vendors there from different things. There is the bagel shop right close. You could go walk around the car show, go in and get some bagels and some other things they offer. And it's just a really fun car show.
Yeah.
Then also coming up, I might as well tell you about this one. At Schimo's Coffee Shop on September 13th from 9 to noon, I will be there with another author, and we are going to be featuring our books at Schimo's Coffee Shop, 1533 West Sunset Road. Now, you don't have to memorize or try to jot that down with me mentioning it once, because you can go to my website and all the places I'm going to be are listed.
No, I love that. That is great. So tell me a story about someone you've met by doing your art.
Oh, have I got a story for you? So my friend in Sacramento, every Saturday, whether she is broke or not, she puts together sandwiches and toothbrushes and toothpaste and other personal care items, and goes out and helps and feeds homeless vets in Sacramento.
Oh my gosh.
Now, this is the story. There was a woman who got an inheritance, didn't use all of her inheritance for her own things, donated a bunch of money to Debbie. And so Debbie told me about it. I said, I'm going to send her. What's her favorite color? Red. Okay. So I send her, this is not red, but I sent her one of these with a big thank you for what she's done. And this isn't that big of an item, but
Right.
she got just this letter from me saying how pleased I was that she helped out. She opens up the package. Debbie didn't tell her what it was. Opens up the package, pulls it out, reads the note, and starts crying.
Oh.
I will never forget that story ever. The other story that is interesting is I met somebody at the gun show who is a vendor, and she bought some of my art. She says, every day I have it sitting on my windowsill. Every day I look at it, it makes me smile. Do you know how that touches me?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like the Rockefellers would say, oh, forget about that. How much did you charge? Oh, get out of here.
Right. Right.
I got enough money from it, but look what I get every time I talk to her. Oh, yeah, my art's on display at my house. It makes me smile.
Yeah, and that's what I love about your art. It's just colorful and it's fun. It's like, how can you not walk past your booth and just smile because the art is whimsical. It's these
That's
busts.
the word. It's on my website. I'm glad you said that, because that is the perfect word, whimsical. It's not serious. This is an exact duplicate of a Volkswagen, and it's not goofy. What is that? It looks like a blob with wheels. No, it's whimsical. The other thing is that we've got something coming.
Ooh.
Uh, I don't know any woman that doesn't like shoulder bags for the beach.
Right, right,
And
exactly.
I'm going to have shoulder bags with my art on them.
Oh,
Probably about, maybe like that size, not huge. Now here's somebody who is my mentor. You may remember this artist. She drew these cats in a certain way, and I've kind of forgotten her name, but she made these cats in the 80s and 90s, and she started out just in her garage or something, making these cats. She drew them a certain way, and then the public, somebody's probably watching, saying the name. It'll come back
right.
to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like thinking it's like there's
But
gotta be.
oh my gosh, it took off. Not as big as Kincaid,
Right.
but really big. I don't know if she's still alive, but for a moment there, everything. Oh, Laura Birch.
Laura
There it
Birch.
is.
Okay,
Laura
yeah.
Birch. Check out her pictures of cats. For a while, they were on everything. And so she's a real role model for me, because she started out with nothing, and
Right.
the public, she just hit some nerve of the public, and that's what I think I've done with my art.
Yes, yeah,
Now you
exactly.
have to understand, I have drawn over 250. Here, I'll show you another different one here. I've drawn over 250 of these,
Wow.
and I'm not tired yet. When I sit down in my home office to draw them, it's just, I'm still having fun. And if anybody who's watching needs a good present for an artist in the family, brush pens are the most incredible invention ever. They are a highlighter, but they have a brush tip on one end and a very hard kind of Bic pen tip on the other. But what's great about the brush pens, if I can show you exactly,
Yes.
I'm going to hold this real close. You can see right there.
Yes.
You can blend the colors together. You put pink down, and then you wait 1 second, put yellow, and it just beautifully blends together. So you can get them at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. They're not the cheapest pens, but if you need a present for somebody, that's what I color these with, is brush
wow.
pen. And they're just the most beautiful tool. They're bright colors, and then you can blend things together. Now, I've got another funny thing to tell you and artists. Don't throw away your pens when they start to be very kind of running out of ink.
Yeah.
Because if you want to put pink in the sky, but you don't want it to look like this car.
Right, right.
Save that pink pen that kind of ran out, because then you can draw across it and it gives you a very light pink. So I have about 40 pens that you wouldn't want to do anything with, but I saved them because when I want just a little bit of light color in an area, I go to my section where the pink pens are and the yellow ones and the green ones.
No, that's smart. Like you said, the end of the pen, even though it's dry, you can use it to blend these. Those are great.
If you want a little blue in the sky, but you don't want it to be as blue as this Volkswagen, which is done with a fresh pen, then you can just get a little wisp of blue, because the pen isn't able to produce any more than a little shadow. And that can be so awesome. So that's a good tip for artists.
Yeah, that is a great tip. Well, that and getting your coloring book, a set of pens, because I love how you just tear the page out and you can print your own, it's your own little piece of artwork.
Right. Now that's why I did this in the spiral bind. Like, here's a happy birthday one. Let's say you colorize this and you go, oh, George is having a birthday. Or let's say, take a look at this one. Here's a bus on the beach. Let's say you color this in and then you carefully tear it out and then trim it a little bit and you put it in your study in a brown framed, oh my gosh. So again, my gifts just keep giving, because my coloring book has, I think it's got 10. I think, if I remember, 10, and there's 16 in here.
Yeah.
In this one. So you could not only get the book, but then you can add art to your walls, that you colored.
Right. That's what I mean, that you colored, or send it out, drop it in the mail to someone, give them a little.
Right. Yeah. Can I tell you one more funny story?
Yes, please. I was just going to ask.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. So I sent out my my coloring book. I sent out my coloring book to all the TV stations saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm local, whatever. I did not know that following Friday was National Coloring Book Day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wouldn't have known that. It was just.
So I sent them out. Channel 11 ABC called me up. I almost thought it was a scam call, but I did pick it up. They said, we have a show called The Morning Blend. We would like you to come on Thursday because Friday is National Coloring Book Day. And I go, oh yeah, I knew that.
I know. I just say yes. Yeah, of course. That's why I sent you the coloring
Here's what happened during the show. I brought 4 foam boards.
Yeah.
3 of them blank and 1 of them colored in to show at the end. And I told the producer that I can show your 2 hosts how to draw a bug in a minute and a half.
Wow.
So I go, okay, do the hood, and they're drawing, do the lights, do the tires, do the bumper. And then they turned it around, and of course, showed, their picture, and it was kind of goofy, both of them. And then I held up the one that was colored that I had done at home. But it was such a funny segment because they had so much fun being under pressure. Oh yeah, I got it, in a minute and a half.
Right.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Oh, what
I love
fun.
things like that because when the viewers see the host under pressure, yes, because the hosts are
Exactly.
always perfect. Let me ask you the next question. But when you see the host under pressure, it is such a release.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're under
exactly.
pressure.
Right, exactly. They got to really work today. They got to draw a
Oh,
picture.
it was a funny and it's only a 5-minute interview. That's why I had to make sure I practice at home.
Yeah.
Can I do this in a minute and a half?
Yeah,
But that's
exactly.
the kind of thing that I like, that level of exhilaration and excitement.
Yeah. Oh, I
That's
love
kind of
it.
my signature. That's
Right.
my
So
verb.
music, art. Tell me about one of your favorite. Have you ever taken a road trip? Because in California, it's a great place for road trips. Do you have?
The road trip I did do is I went to a Volkswagen show out in Utah,
Oh,
which
nice.
isn't too far, and I actually slept in my Tucson to save money and whatever.
Yeah.
But that was fun because I was in a whole different place, meeting all new people, and the drive was really neat. It was by Lake Havasu.
Oh, wow.
I do have that right. Utah's Lake Havasu, I think. If someone wants to
No, I think
Idaho,
I no.
not
Yeah,
Idaho.
you
No, Idaho's
probably.
up
I'd
north.
have to.
Hang on,
Yeah.
I got a map right here.
Oh, good.
No, it is Utah. Yeah, it's Utah.
Okay.
Lake Havasu. If somebody wants to correct me, I would be pleased. But
Hey, it's
anyway,
okay.
it wasn't that long of a trip, but it was a nice drive. Got to hang out with a lot of Volkswagen people, so that was fun.
And do you also do if someone's got their own VW and wants like a custom piece?
Yes. Let me tell you this quick story. So a guy comes up to me and says, "I have a brand new Volkswagen. Have a Volkswagen Bug that I'm completely restoring. It's going to be root beer brown. And I would like you to draw one of these in root beer brown and also a plaque which is probably about that big, I'm trying to
Oh,
get my
yeah,
hands up
yeah.
here, and so I made him both a plaque on wood and a mini canvas magnet, and he said he wanted the Rocky Mountains behind it, so it turned out beautiful.
Oh,
He
nice.
loved it, and he's up there in Colorado, and now the Volkswagen's finished, but he commissioned me to do that. So yeah, that's fun. That was really
That's got to be super rewarding too when
Yeah, and
someone
I did
wants
a
to.
thing for a guy. You know what a thing is? It's that army looking vehicle. It's a convertible. It's kind of square. You may have seen one before. It was actually a German couple of man troop transport. Then after the war, of course, people started getting them and repainting them bright colors, and it's called the Thing. And
Oh,
then Volkswagen may have
interesting.
produced them for a while. And he had a green thing, and he wanted me to draw that, so I drew that for him, and that was fun. So if somebody has a particular vehicle, and then I just did a Porsche
Oh.
914,
Oh,
and
really?
let me tell you the story. It raced at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, but as a joke, they called it the Pink Pig. It was painted pink, and it had marks where all the different kinds of cuts were, the
Oh.
names of. So he had a model of this. He goes, "I'd like a plaque." That was really difficult to draw, but he loved it.
Oh,
And I did
good.
pink around the border of the wooden plaque, and it was on a racetrack.
Oh, wow, how
Kind of coming
cool.
towards you. It's coming towards you.
Right. Yeah.
That was fun. So if somebody has a car that they want me to draw, I will always do that. They can contact me via the website, classicvwart.com. I have an Instagram page, VW Art Guy, so people can reach me. And then, of course, the shows we talked about,
Yeah.
so that's fun.
Yeah.
And I think down the road, I've tried t-shirts before. I might do those again at some point. But the bags, I've had women look at me and go, "As soon as you have that bag, let me know,
I
please."
know, right?
Okay, back off. Calm down.
Yeah, but
They're like kind of like wild, I want that bag.
the trouble with t-shirts, because I love the idea of t-shirts too, is which designs to pick, because you've got like you said, you've got the VW Bug with the mountains, you have a VW at the beach, you have different
Yeah.
colors, you know,
And then you have to have different sizes, of course.
right, right.
So the bag is the next thing, and I want to keep expanding this. Now, I recently had some incredible fun and a lucky break. VW Trends magazine. If you're into Volkswagen, great magazine to check out. I don't think they're on the stands. I think you just order it and it's mailed to you. But they put the cover of my comic book in their What's New section.
Oh,
And that is
wow.
just wow. That is such great promotion. You know,
Yeah, and what an honor to be a part of that community when what you
right?
do is all centered around the
Right.
VW.
And once you get something, I use this term I made up called an anchor. Once you get a picture of your product in a major magazine, then you take part of the cover, you take that page, you paste it all up, you color Xerox it, and then you can mail it out to everybody. You see,
Yes.
becomes a tool. And I asked the editor, he goes, "Oh, fine," because he loves the idea that I'll be promoting his magazine to
Right,
people he may never reach.
right.
But what a tool for me, because it builds credibility. And this is another tip for anyone listening who's a musician or an artist. Find a way to get your art into a magazine, because it's not like you have the magazine. You know, this isn't the magazine, but it's not like you have the magazine, you go, "Oh, this is really cool," and then you set it aside. No, paste it up, color Xerox it, mail
Yes.
it out to everybody. It builds credibility.
Yeah. And it can open a lot of other doors too, because
Oh,
once you're in one magazine, or
yeah,
like you said, your idea for marketing of mailing out your item or,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
to the newscasters and stuff. How fun.
Yeah. Now there's something coming up. I want to share this with you before we run out of time, because this might be another good tip for people. Once I was caught, pardon the expression, with my pants down, and they told me that it was National Coloring Book Day,
Oh,
I went online and typed in, "Tell me all the days of the year." Now, I found all kinds of cool things like September 12th is Chocolate Milkshake Day, you know, Hobbit Day on the 22nd. But the one that's of interest to me is on the 25th of September is National Comic Book Day. So
oh,
I'm going to be doing a mailing to the TV stations again saying, "Hey, it's National Comic Book Day on September, Wednesday, the 25th. You should have me on."
right.
Well, people watching your podcast here who have any kind of activity need to go online, find out what the days are, and see what you can tie in with.
Yes.
There are days just incredible, you know, coffee ice cream day. What are the other ones?
Oh, there's a
Green beef
bunch.
day, Star Trek day.
I mean,
Oh
there's a
my gosh.
bunch. There's a day for almost
Right.
everything that could tie into your small
Right.
business, write a
Yeah.
song.
I
And
know.
the
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh, I was gonna do a shout out because it's there's a website. It's called National Day Calendar.
That's it. That's the
Yep.
one.
And
Yeah.
that's the best one to follow. You can they even give you the hashtags to use on your
Right.
social media.
Right.
And again, it's that whole idea of celebrating every day. Find something to be, you
Right.
know,
Now, imagine the media. They get called by every goofy person and every legitimate person and more. So if you call up and say, "Hey, I have a vacuum cleaner business. I'd love to be on your show." Yeah, I bet you would. Yeah, okay. And I'm not beating up on vacuum dealers. But what I'm saying is, if you come at them with something that serves them,
right.
that makes them look good, they are more apt to say, "Yes, we will have you on." Because if you come across self-serving, you sound like everybody else who's just trying to get on and get some free airtime. So
Right.
try to find a way that you can make them look good, because they don't want to have National Comic Book Day go by and, "How come you guys didn't cover that?" Oh,
Right.
you know.
Yes,
So if you let them
exactly.
know it's coming up, they're going, "Whoa, hey, this guy helped us out, or this gal helped us out.
Right.
We'll put them on, sure,
Exactly.
because we're going to look like we know what's going on." You know,
Yeah, yeah. That is so true. And also
another
looking
tip.
for local businesses. I know you gave a shout out to Schimo's Coffee that's doing
Yes,
like the author events.
right. And my
Um,
gosh, I got to tell you, there's a couple of places that have my art as well, and one of them is Coppercat Books
Yes.
in Henderson. They have, and so does Nevada Off-Road and Buggy in Las Vegas. They are a Volkswagen part shop, but they have my art there as well. The gal who runs it is just really friendly, really awesome. So I wanted to certainly mention them.
Yeah, and definitely Coppercat too, because Wendy
Oh,
does. They have a great bookstore. It's a mix of everything. I mean, you're gonna find art in there. You're gonna find some books. They have
yeah.
a little bit of like gift items, and they do
Yeah.
again local authors, local artists. Come on a
And I like to
Saturday.
support local businesses like that because they tend to have maybe some books you can't find anywhere else.
Yes. Yeah.
I've got some,
Exactly.
you know, in the 60s, you know, I got some beaded bracelets, masculine looking bracelets from them. So they have the little gift items like that too.
Yeah, they
They hold
definitely do.
events there regularly. So that's
Yes.
another thing.
And you have a few keychains. You were doing keychains too for a while.
Yes, keychains. Yeah, the keychains are on the website and they look just like this, but they're a keychain. We've taken the art, we've taken this and scanned it and then reduced the size. And yes, I have keychains as well. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, this has
So
been so much fun, Brian. So tell people again your website and
sure.
they can go
It,
on and
yeah, it's classicvwart.com. I would say as long as the weather isn't too hot, from 7 to 10 in the morning in the Twin Peaks parking lot at Twin Peaks restaurant parking lot at the corner of Serene and Eastern. Wonderful car show. And then Skimo's Coffee, you can Google that for the address and information. But it's 9 to noon. And that's coming up on September 19th. That is a Friday. 13th, sorry. Is that really Friday the 13th? Wait a minute.
oh no, yeah, exactly. Is it really on
Yeah,
a Friday?
come keep us safe. Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Skimo's Coffee. They're wonderful people too.
And then check out the Boulder City event too if you're into
Oh,
cars
please.
and music and
You
food.
can go to bouldercity.com and there's two big events actually. One of them is the Bugs and Corvettes, Corvairs invade the dam. In April, they have just Bugs invade the dam. But the one in November is great. And then there's also the Best Damn Barbecue event. And I forget when that is, but it'll be listed on the Boulder City site. But that is an event where the best of the best of the best barbecue comes out and you can taste it. You can vote on it. There's other vendors. I'll be there. There's music and it's a free event.
Yeah.
And that's just really fun. As the weather gets a little cooler here, there's going to be more and more.
Oh yeah, there's more things to go and see and do. So
Right. The
Brian,
final thing I
ahead.
want to say, if I could, is as an artist or a musician of any kind, the media will pay more attention to you than probably the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker, you know? So the fact when, you know, figure out what is your passion. Is it stopping animal abuse? Is it stopping, you know, child abuse? Or what might it be? Or elder abuse? Or whatever it might be. So that when you are having an opportunity to speak to thousands, you not only talk about your craft, but you also say, and I also support blah, blah, blah. And you will reach many people. And that I think is a responsibility of the artist because we do have a higher visibility in society and how wonderful. Then we can impact positive change by speaking out about the things we're passionate about when that microphone is in your face. Be ready.
I love it.
We're counting on you.
Yeah. And
We're counting on you. Thank you for having me on the show. My gosh.
of course, Brian, thank you so much. And thanks for continuing to spread joy as we were talking. It's good to laugh, smiling, do something nice, you know,
I'll try
buy,
not to be so shy. You know, I'll work on it.
you know, that's all right. Send a card, send a note, even just, you know,
Oh, that's one other thing I got to say. I've got to
yes.
say that. Wow. I have had such great response when I do a show like that show I did on ABC
Yes.
11. Guess what I do? I don't send an email thanking you. I have had my son make me Volkswagen thank you cards. And I write a personal note to them, each of the hosts and the producer, and I said a thank you card. Now, I have gotten feedback from people. He sent me a handmade thank you card. I've never gotten one of those before. I'm telling you, people who are watching, you will be remembered by that little act of kindness.
Yeah.
A handwritten thank you card.
Yeah.
People will, they'll call you back in 6 months and go, hey, I like that person. So that's just the final tip I just had to share, because it is so forgotten in these rushed and electronic days that when you do something like that, and you don't do it phony, you do it because you really want to thank them, but they get a handwritten note.
Yeah.
It's like they go, what?
Right. Exactly. So true.
Yeah. So
Thank
listen,
you.
thank you for having me on. And probably we went over time and all
No, there's no, I never set a time limit. I
that.
just
Okay, good.
enjoy chatting
Well, then
with
we can go
everyone.
on another 2 hours, right?
Yeah. We enjoy chatting and having a good time. I look forward to catching up with Brian in person in Las Vegas or in
Yes. And
Coppercat soon.
did I mention? I think I did mention that if you go to the website, $5 you spend, you put yourself in a drawing for a free copy of the coloring book.
Yes.
And you've got to come see me at my booth, please. I'd love to
Yeah,
commiserate with you for a little bit.
exactly. So
Yeah.
get out there, have fun, get some brush pens, buy a note card, and and get out there and explore. Thanks everyone for joining, and I'll have all in the show notes about Brian, where to find him, and if you want to be a guest, how to reach out to me as well. So thanks everyone. Take care.
See you.